big deal for the Big Easy. 7th-seeded Pelicans trading for Chicago's Nikola Mirotic and his 42.9% shooting from three this season in exchange for a 2018 protected first-round pick, Omer Asik, Tony Allen, and Jameer Nelson. In the process, the Pelicans were able to create a roster spot to sign NOLA native Greg Monroe, who was just bought out by the Suns. Meanwhile, DeMarcus Cousins sharing a post-Achilles surgery photo. Get well soon, big fella. Hashtag the resurgence. Hashtag 0 doubt. I like that. So meanwhile, the Bulls into Thursday with the NBA's 6th worst record. They got worse, so good job. Woj, you spent time recently with Anthony Davis, and he talked to you about wanting to be part of a winner. And like Golden State, they're not losing sleep over this, but Dell Demps perhaps putting together a front line of Davis, Mirotic, and Monroe in the aftermath of losing Boogie. This is the type of aggressive maneuvering Davis has been looking for, right?
Well, especially losing Boogie Cousins for the rest of the season, that they didn't pack it in New Orleans. They want to get in the playoffs. And so now they do the Mirotic deal, and they imagine him as coming off the bench, and Greg Monroe is their starting center to replace Cousins if they can get Monroe signed. Alvin Gentry, their coach, talked to Monroe last night, and getting a chance to be a starter in his hometown makes the Pelicans the favorite right now to sign Monroe. He may make a decision by this weekend.
All right, now let's look at some of the other notable players who are rumored to be available. You got DeAndre Jordan, Lou Will, Kemba, George Hill, Tyreek Evans, whom, like the Bulls did with Mirotic, the Grizzlies have shut down amid trade talks. So who is your phone buzzing about the most as we are a week away from the trade deadline?
DeAndre Jordan's still dictating the market. He's still the biggest player available out there, literally, figuratively. One team that has checked in with the Clippers is Portland on DeAndre Jordan, and they've exchanged some ideas with L.A., and they're contemplating in Portland whether they want to really pursue a deal here. Portland's president of basketball operations, Neil O'Shea, he drafted DeAndre Jordan early in the second round when he was the Clippers GM, so he has history with him. Yeah,
it's so interesting that we're here now with DeAndre Jordan, and even where Blake Griffin is now. Remember, it wasn't that long ago where
they
were locking him in, and now it's get out. Standing. So thank you, Welch. We appreciate it. All right, that collective sound you heard after our own Chris Haynes reported that LeBron would take a meeting with the Warriors in the offseason if Golden State cleared a max salary slap was the sound of NBA fans' head exploding. Sources told Haynes that James would listen out because he has respect for the Warriors' winning culture. And man, did the hot takes come pouring in after that. We'll get to Steven Jackson's hot take on this in just a moment. But the plot thickens. The Athletic's Tim Kahwi, he tweeted that the Warriors actually had internal discussions about going after LeBron in 2016.
Of course.
After losing Game 7 to the Cavs.
That was then. This is now.
But they focused on him.
All right. Losing Barnes and whatnot.
Let's continue on with this theme of LeBron leaving and discuss some possible destination. There's Houston, where he can team up with CP3, James Harden. Their biggest hurdle, got to get rid of Ryan Anderson. Then there's San Antonio, playing for Pop, playing alongside Kawhi Leonard. Spurs will have to create space, though, and need to lose Gasol, Danny Green, and Rudy Gay. Then there is Los Angeles, where he can go to the Lakers or the Clippers. Lakers will have enough cap space to sign LeBron, while the Clippers would need to make a few moves. But before we talk about where LeBron should go, S-Jax, what was your reaction to this report that LeBron is willing to listen to the Warriors if they clear a max salary?
Profanity.
that and hot air. That was just hot air. I know it would never happen.
Yeah. See, we say that, and Mike, you said this earlier. We thought Durant thought that would never happen. Him going back to Cleveland, thought that would never happen. I'm not saying that I'm here to feed the conspiracy theories, but I do think with LeBron James is the one player where when it comes time for him to make a decision, all options are always on the table.
Before, it was Durant would never go to the team that beat him, all right, or LeBron would never go back to Dan Gilbert, right? But the other side wanted them. Golden State does not want LeBron, has no reason to want LeBron at the cost of their current roster is the reason why this won't happen, even if LeBron would swallow his pride and if he can't beat him, join him. So moving aside for something that we agree will never happen, where should he go? Jamel just laid out the teams. What team should he sign with this offseason?
If I had my choice, I would say San Antonio. I would love to see, I would love to see Kawhi with another mega star. You know, I don't consider LaMarcus Aldridge a star. You know, if you're a star, you can go left and right. You can't just go right. He just go right. He don't go left at all. LeBron and Kawhi, that'll be awesome for the game. That'll have them competing in the West, probably at the top of the West. I think it'll be good for the game.
You know who I got in the West? Not a big market. Portland. Go to Portland. You saw C.J. McCollum drop 50 in 29 minutes with that backcourt. Go to Portland if you want to join an up-and-coming team.
And they got a big man now.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Stephen. We appreciate you joining us.
All right, bro.
Okay, Eric.